Alright, so we're checking out a new digital video system, and I believe it's called Edge Smart Drive, and this is the T3. And you see on the box here, it has a VRX and a VTX. This is not OpenIPC based. It's not DJI or HD0 or Walksnail. It's a totally new system. I've never heard of it before, never seen it before. Now, I was contacted by a few different places. I didn't really know if there was this company or marketing companies related to this company, and they wanted me to do a sponsored video, and I declined that because I wasn't like I didn't want to read off a script. But then Buddy RC, which is a store here in the U.S., contacted me about this, and they're like, yeah, you can just we'll just send it to you. Feel free to review it the way you like. No, it's not a sponsored video or anything like that. So I was like, okay, and under those conditions, I'll go ahead and make a video. And again, this is, even though they sent this to me for free, it's not a sponsored video, and all the thoughts that you're going to hear about the system will be just my thoughts and my thoughts alone. You're not going to be hearing anything from a script. Anyway, I don't know a whole lot about this, and I don't have a link for this at their store yet. So there'll be a link down in the description. It'll be TBD. It'll come out at some point soon. I'm not sure when. And I don't have full specs. I do have a quick start guide for the VRX and the VTX. We'll look at some of the specs here, but the number one thing you guys are probably wondering about is the latency, and that I couldn't find yet. So we'll have to, discover that in a future video. For this one, we're going to get it out of the box. We'll take a look at it. I'll try and get it set up on a screen here, see what the video quality is like, and we'll take a look at the quick start guides. But that's about it for this one here. And yeah, I'm gonna break this up into probably multiple videos. I did a 2-hour video for the DJI 04 system, and apparently that was way too long and no one watched that video. So anyway, as you can see, the pictures here of the system here, looks pretty, at least the VTX looks pretty similar to like DJI or Walksnail. This VRX is really different. It's got a fan, looks like it's I think it has a built-in battery if I remember reading from the quick specs. So not much here in the rest of the box. Here is the air unit, also called T3, and also shows you he's got some different connections there for telemetry and to going to like an HDMI or USB-C monitor for display. And see here, AI imaging, 3rd gen intelligent ISP. I have no idea what that means. 35 kilometer maximum transmission range. Okay, that's pretty far. And 120 megabits peak video bitrate. So I'm assuming it's probably recording some sort of 4K video if it's recording at 120 megabits. So I think the transmission video is 1080p 60. So probably some kind of combination of 4K and 1080p. Again, I haven't really looked at this yet. We're going to discover this together. Type-C, single cable video, and power integration. Okay. And it looks like, yeah, this is another Chinese company called Zhuai Edge Smart Drive Technology. So I guess it's called Edge Smart Drive. And then I guess the websites are edgesmartdrive.com and OMP Hobby. There might be information there by the time you see this video. But let's go ahead and get these out. Looks like there's 2 boxes. I guess they have this cardboard outside. And there we go. Yes, it looks like it is set up like this. And you got your ground unit and your air unit. So let's look at the ground unit first. Yeah, again, same stuff that was on the other outside the outer carton. Okay, so here's a quick start guide. And actually, there's a PDF file that I was going to show you, but it looks like they have it in paper format. And yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to see that. But basically, there's some buttons there for getting to the menus. You get some connectors. Looks like the antenna is already attached. I guess we'll find out here in a second. System status lights, signal strength light, and charging indicator light. There it shows you the bind button is. And it looks like there's 2 different ways to connect it to either a set of VR goggles or an HDMI monitor. So you got Type-C cable or Type-C to HDMI. I'm pretty sure those are probably going to be included. And I'm not going to show any of this stuff here. We'll go over really, in this video. It's just basically some operation details, and here are the key specs. You can kind of see the OSD or the menu system there, and we'll probably take a look at that here in a second, but it looks like it's 5.8 gigahertz, or it's like 5.1 to, there's like two different ranges. It looks like 5.18 to 5.24, and then 5.745 to 5.825 gigahertz for the transmission. And it looks like it goes max 30 dBm, so I think that's 1 or 2 watts. And Type-C video output is 1080p 60. This is all for the VRX. And then it does have a built-in battery, as you can see here, 5,000 milliamp hour, 1S battery, and the whole thing weighs 142 grams. And some information here on the antennas. It's directional antennas. All right, it comes in the box like this. Looks like the antennas are already pre-installed. And you got some cables, connectors here, probably for some accessories. And then you have this connector here. It looks like an Ethernet jack. No USB-C or HDMI cables in here. It's kind of disappointing. Looks like you'll have to acquire that on your own. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Nothing, it's just like plastic, and they got a little vent for a fan. And I think these are in the quick start guide, these are RPSMA antennas. And it looks like they're already attached, and you can see that they're actually connected here in the middle. And I don't see any mounting. There's got some mounting holes here, it looks like. And got their buttons there, power on, and your menu button, USB-C there, got a little vent there, another vent on this side, another USB-C, and then you got those two connectors. I think those are for telemetry, but it looks like you have to probably, I'm imagining, mount it on some sort of a tripod. This is pretty heavy, much heavier than any other VRXs that I've used, and it has a built-in battery. So probably not best to put it on goggles. I'm going to put it attached to a screen here, an HDMI monitor, when we power this all up here in a second. And here's the T3 VTX. Very tiny lettering there, 20 by 20 mounting holes. And it's got a micro SD card slot, probably for recording the onboard video. Again, this is a quick start guide, not the full manual, so I don't have that yet. So my information's got some holes in it. Again, feel free to leave questions down in the comments section, and I'll try and address those for the future videos. And here's the wiring diagram. And it looks like this is quite a bit different. It does have, it says battery power 6 to 28 volts. You have RX and TX, so kind of similar there to like Walksnail or DJI. And it does even have S Plus output, interesting. And here are the specs on the antenna, left-hand circular polarized, and specs on the VTX. So feel free to pause the video if you want to read it up. Again, I don't see anything here on latency, so yeah, it does have supported flight control systems, ArduPilot, Betaflight, and iNav. Yeah, it weighs 25 grams, including heatsink, so a bit on the heavier side. Here are the specs on the camera module, 1/2.8 inch, 2 megapixel, 16 by 9 sensor, so not super high resolution. And f1.4 aperture, 120 degree field of view. And there's an optional lens, which is a 2.2 millimeter HD155 aperture f1.9 and 155 degree field of view. I'm not sure which one I got. Got a couple of cables here with some bare wire on the other end. Not sure what that's for. Probably for connecting to a flight controller. And then the VTX is kind of nicely laid out here with the foam, so well protected. Yeah, pretty long MIPI cable. I'm not sure if it's a MIPI cable or not, but it kind of looks like that. And here's the lens. Go ahead and pull this off. Pretty big lens. And pretty big distance between the front of the lens and the mounting holes. And those look like are similar to O3 in terms of the distance. And probably these are M2s. So it might work in an O3 mount. Got your plug there for probably connecting to your flight controller. Heatsink here. This looks very kind of similar to like a Walksnail VTX. Got two antennas. That's again more connectors here. These are left-hand circular polarized. Yeah, heatsink looks substantial. It looks like it's a little offset here, so the 20 by 20 mounting holes, it looks like these are M2s, are not in the middle, so they're kind of offset a little bit. flat here on the bottom, and here's some information. Edge smart drive, T3 digital video transmitter, 628 volts at 1 amp. And it looks like it came with a micro SD card already in here. I'm not sure why it's popped out like this. Okay, so it's popped out. Looks like it's in kind of like when it's locked in place, it protrudes a little bit. Kind of wish it was a little bit more flush, but it'll just make it a lot easier to eject it. But then if something hits it, then the card could get ejected. And here is what this looks like: a NetAC Pro. This is a U1 card, A1, so not super fast. So 32 gigabytes. So the onboard video is probably not. I guess they're saying it's 120 megabits. So I'm not sure if A1 or U1 is fast enough for that. So we'll have to find out. That'll be in a future video, of course. But yeah, I think in terms of connecting to a flight controller, you're going to have to use these connectors here. And I'm not sure, I have to figure out which one is power, so I can power this up and bind it up to the VRX and then connect it to a monitor. So I'm going to do all that right now, and then we'll come up, show you what the video image looks like.